Hey everybody, it's Tyler with Gaia Force Gaming, and I am here with a couple lists. So we've been doing these 2 weeks at a time. I think it's working out pretty good. It lets me get you guys like about a half dozen lists at a time. Lets you look over the metagame, not in an isolated event, but over, a couple weeks. So here we have the last 2 weeks worth of the Monday night events. Well, let's just get into it. BT15 is pretty fun. So starting off, we'll go with Sean, who was X1 2 weeks ago. We're going to do the one with 2 weeks ago first, and he was playing Bloom Lord. So let's take a look at his list here that he used. So he's got the Kokomon to draw a card, only 4 eggs, which I think is pretty interesting. We have the 4 Searcher Palmon. We have 3 of the BT14 Palmon, 3 of the Palmon X. The Palmon engine is pretty strong. I really like it in Bloom. 3 Pomumon stops the effects. So just the, what is that, 6, 9, 13? 13 rookies, pretty solid number for Bloom. We have 2 of the Red Vegiemon, 4 of the Sunflow that plays, 2 of the Sunflow that reduces evolution, and 3 Togemon. We got 2 Cherrymon and 4 Agitarmon, 1 of the Ace, 1 of the Blossommon. Then we see the 4 Bloom Lord, 1 of the Mega Gargo Ace, of course, new Ace. It's a great boss monster. I've been thinking about messing with it in Bloom, but I don't think it's overall necessary. 2 Quantum, 3 Quartz, a big number of Quartz, 1 HPD, 3 Agility, 1 Mimi, the Memory Mimi, and 3 of the Searcher Mimi. Overall, solid list. From like a standard Bloom list, you would run Hydra as well over the Mega Gargo. You can mess with ratios. The Red Vegiemon is interesting. I think it's a decent. I've been thinking about toying with it as a one of in Bloom, especially now since I've been playing a lot more of the green, like for the Green Cup that's been going on. But overall, super solid list. Big fan of it. The Mega Gargo Ace probably really catches people off guard. Just being able to blast Evo over a 5, very strong. Big fan of that. Other than that, not a lot to say. Did go X1. It was only 3 rounds because of a draw, but still, I mean, three matches is a pretty good sample size. Then we have Luca. Luca was X1, and he was playing Beelstar, or Beelsmon, I should say. Luca been playing Beelsmon a while. I don't think he gets a lot of the new cards, but he's still showing that you don't need to invest heavily in Digimon to perform pretty well. We have the 4 Yamon, 4 Imp X, 3 of the Mill Impmon, 1 of the Recycle Impmon, 1 of the Limited Impmon, 4 of the Starter Deck Impmon, 4 and 4 of the Wizard and Wizard X. We have a Witchmon, 4 of the BT10 Ballmon, and 3 Starter Deck Ballmon, 2 Beels X, 1 Starter Beels, a Blast Mode, a Death X, 2 7th Full Cluster, 3 Deathslinger, 4 Barrage, and 4 Iron Mako. So, I mean, this is not far off from what we saw when Beels was on top. Back when that advanced deck released, and it's still, if you know the deck, you can make sure it performs well. I think the archetype doesn't lose anything. It just has to compete with a faster moving meta, and yeah, this is just an account to show that if you learn a deck type and put your time into it, you could be rewarded with some success. So congrats to Luca. It says he's missing 3 cards. I wonder what that is. Let's see if it's anything that didn't carry over here. Three of the... He's playing 4 of the starter deck Beels. I thought this Beels count looked low, so let's just update that. There we go. 50 out of 50. Was I missing any on this first? No. Okay. Just noticed that, but we fixed that real quick, and we got the full picture. So, there is the Beelsmon deck. If you love purple, there it is. Congrats again to Luca for going X1. The winner 2 weeks ago was Brady, and he was playing Ruin Mode Turbo. So this was very interesting to see. It kind of goes a little hard. We have the 4 Koromon from BT12. So when one of your Tamers becomes suspended, you get to minus a K. We have the 4 Agumon. Of course, all of these are going to not quite do what the normal Shine Greymon wants. The inheritables are going to favor DP minus. He has 3 of the EX4 Agu. Of course, you got to run 4 of the Searcher, the 1 of Geogray. We have 4 of the EX4 Geogray. We have 4 of the BT12 Geogray. Then we do a 4-4 split of the Rise Greymon from 13 and the old BT2 Rise Greymon, which is very strong in this deck because you do just want to pump out these Tamers. Playing the BT2 Shine Greymon back from the dead. He's, again, in this deck, it's all about DP minus. Single BT12 Shine, 4 Ruin modes. Then we have a yellow Mem boost, 4 physical trainings, and 2 full sets of the Marcus. And again, this deck just gets to that Ruin mode ASAP and abuses that blanket DP minus to keep your opponent's board clear. And yeah, really strong into Numemon, really strong into decks that flood the board. It would probably be really good into Bunnies, really good into Bloom, because it can usually target one thing with a lot of DP minus, and then you just have that static -5 for everyone else. So, grats to Brady for going undefeated a couple weeks ago. Now let's talk about the top 3 decks from this last week. Yesterday at the time of recording, a couple days ago at the time of recording, not yesterday. I don't know. This will go up soon. Anyway, here is Walter. He's still playing Numemon, but this time his list looks a little different. He's got the 4 Sune, 1 Toko, of course. The only... excuse me. The only black eggs worth running in Numemon, in my opinion. The other ones just don't give you any sort of benefit. The Sunemon especially very important. Tokomon, okay. He runs the 4 Chumon for the Floodgates. We have 2 Doromon to just get either card advantage in hand or play a body, get a rookie to hand. 1 of the Floodgate Chikuri for Ukomon. And that's pretty standard rookie lineup. We usually see 10 to 12 rookies. Here he's sitting at 11, solid number. We have the Slime lineup being 4 Gare, 3 of the Rush Numemon, 4 of the Numemon X. Then we see 2 of the RB1 Nume. We see 3 Waru Monzemon, 4 Monzemon X, 4 of the RB1 Monzemon, 4 Platinum Nume, and then the reason we see the 3 Waru Monzemon is we're playing a single Mega Gargomon Ace. Again, big surprise factor. 2 Venusmon, a Quartz, a Shine Gray Ruin mode, and then we do see the 1 of Protoform, 1 of Heaven's Judgment, and then a 2-2 split of Tamers. Very techy, a lot of like little toolbox things. I've seen people run the Quartz in the Numemon. I'm not sure if I love it or if it could definitely be really strong. I could see how it could be super good into a lot of matchups. But man, I've been running in my list the double Ruin mode and single Merciful mode, and it feels so strong to run it that way. But again, this list very strong. It did make it to finals last week, going 3-1 altogether, and grats to Walter. Now for second place, X1, we see the return of Brady. Let's take a look at his list if it looks any different. We do see we have 1 more egg this time around. We did switch to Kudomon over 1 of the Agumons, so the Kudomon being able to search for a vaccine, as well as the Yellow Tamer, so if you grab all the stuff you want to grab. The champion lineup looks the same. We do see 2 of those BT2 Rise Greymons going for 2 of the BT9 Rise Greymon X's. We did up the count of the BT12 Shine. We did lower the count of Ruin mode by 1 to include a couple Crimson Blaze. And we do still see the physical training and the Marcuses. So Overall, just one less Marcus, but overall, really strong still. X1 into this event. I think Ruin Mode Turbo, again, has a lot of really good tools into the current meta of BT15. So it's, again, you give up Burst Mode for Ruin Mode, and that blanket minus 5k stays so strong. You can usually, if you have multiple Ruin Modes, it's not unheard of to get to minus 15k. 10k is not that bad at all, but 15k happens from time to time, and that is just a back buster. And then the winner last week was Ethan, and he was playing Mirage Galgamon. We haven't seen this as often. It is a popular deck, but BT15, a lot of people put it to the side to try some new toys. Here's Ethan showing us that it can still perform really well. So here he runs the 3 Wanyamon, the 1 Buka, still on 4 eggs. Wish it could be 4 Buka, but that's the spicy tech. Still 4 eggs, but 1 still Buka. We have this single Gaomon from BT11. 4 Goma, because it's just an amazing card. The Inheritable is so strong. We have the Syakomon just as a 1-of. Oh, sorry. Ooh, I got a case of the yawns. We got a 2-of Syakomon. I didn't mean to say 1-of. We got 4 of the EX4 Gao. 2 Lanamon, just for hybrid for game, of course. As well as just giving itself jamming is very strong. 4 of the BT13 Galgamon. 4 of the EX4 Galgamon. Then we go right into the Mott Galgamon from BT11. 3 of the Zudo Ace, as well as the 1-of EX4 Mott Galgamon that is limited to 1. We have the 4 Mirage Galgamon from BT11. That's your bread and butter. A single BT13 Mirage, not too bad. 3 Burst Mode for the Wombo combo. 2 Full Moon Impact. 2 Blue Boost for Mental Training. And then 3 of each Thomas. Solid list. I think Mirage is very strong. I think if you're really into single stack decks that swing a couple times, take advantage of your opponent getting resources, Mirage Galgamon stays very powerful. If you like blue, this is the deck for you. It has a little bit of security bombs. It's got the big stack. I'm a big fan of Mirage. I haven't played it personally, but I'm a big fan of what it does. I think it's super solid. And big grats to Ethan for taking the event with that. Yeah, so that's just about 6 decks from the last 2 weeks. I guess now we can take a second to talk about the meta. It's been a little weird. Weird's not the word. I think a lot of people have been... Bunnies have gotten a lot of focus because at the time of recording it is the pre-release and the Double Typhoon Cup events for the new Advanced Starter. So a lot of people are playing that, having fun with it, trying to kind of crack it out, break it up, and really exploring that mono green. A lot of people are also, because of that, taking less time to practice for the first regionals where they're giving out serial omnis, which will be this weekend, again at the time of recording, which I really am worried that I am not practicing enough for, because I've been playing the mono green events and I want to get all of my practice I can in, because I really want to try and get that top 8 spot, win a serial omni, just in general, but again, to be one of the first to win it would be insane. Other than that, I think Digimon's in a really healthy place. We have some really cool announcements. They announced it at Bandai Card Game Fest, but again, now we have the actual timeline of the universal release schedule. So basically, at this point in America, we're going to get a full set release almost every month, except for, I think, 3. I think there are 3 months off this year where we're not getting a bigger release, leading into the special release volume 2, which will be 18, 19, and 20 combined. They did announce that the first part of that will be all of 18 and some of 19, and the second part will be some of 19 and all of 20. So it won't quite be like BT1 and 1.5, in which we got like a smattering of all 3 in 2 waves, which led to things like evolution lines being broken up. That might still happen for BT19 a little bit, but we're going to get the full sum of 18, a little bit of 19, the rest of 19, and the full sum of 20. And at the time of release for BT20, we will be perfectly caught up with Japan by the end of 2024, which means that Digimon will be on a universal release schedule. Just across the world, we will have the same release schedule moving forward after 2024, which is huge. It's big implications. That means we can no longer use Japanese results to influence North American deck building. We can't really speculate on the market. We can't speculate on the meta. We're gonna have to just let it naturally occur here, like it does there, which is a little scary for people who like to be prepared, but also very exciting because it gives us a chance to be innovators. Even decks that people like claimed, there's no way to say this without sounding rude, but I don't mean it to be rude, because just like duplicate thoughts do happen. But there were definitely decks in America over the course of the history of this game that people felt like they fully developed because they did come up with the concept on their own without realizing it, without looking at Japan stuff, but it had been done in Japan at like a Tamer battle or at a smaller event, and there was records of that online. And like, I can't imagine the feel bad of being a person who's just like, man, I came up with this cool thing, and then getting told like, well, actually, this was a thing in Japan. And then now though, we're going to be able to naturally actually be a part of just discovering stuff first. I think that's really exciting. I think it's super exciting that we'll be learning them. It just leaves so much room for innovation, because people, it's very simple to get caught in a trap, for lack of a better word, of thinking where you're like, oh, this was good in Japan, so this is the way the deck has to be played. This is what has results. This is how I'm thinking about it. Like, a lot of people get stuck in that, ooh, that's not the right choice. That's not optimal. And now we're going to have to figure it out through trial and error. And I think it's going to bring us closer as a community, just overall. I think it's going to be cool because maybe now we'll see different parts of the world taking from the North American meta. I think it's really cool. The biggest thing I want to know, I haven't looked into it at all. I do hope in a small way that it'll allow, since it's a universal release schedule, the ability to use any language card that you choose. Because I think it would be cool, just because there's North American exclusive arts, for them to be able to use those in Japan if they prefer them. And I know that there are some Japanese exclusive arts so far that we don't have, that it would be cool to get our hands on. I do also just think that I like the aesthetic. It's coming from a smaller Magic background, not competitively, but I did play casual Magic for a really long time. There was like a big, there's a big, what's the word I'm looking for? There was just like something fun about having other language cards in your deck that just made that card feel more special. I just hope we could play with different language cards. I think accessibility wise, it'll be really good for the game. I think it'll be really good for people who travel a lot to not have to have two languages. People like East who live in Japan and play in the Japanese meta. It would be cool for him to be able to use some of his English cards, not have to buy them twice. People like Yoshi who are moving, from what he said, like, it'll be cool that if he doesn't have to re-buy his whole deck, that he's maxed rarity, because I know how he likes the shiny green cards. Overall, just a lot of exciting things for Digimon. The card game, Liberators, I didn't get to read it yet, but there's a lot of talk about it. I haven't read it. There's a lot of people who are like incredulous about the storyline so far, but either way, people are talking about it, and that's pretty hype. The 25th animation anniversary Digivice went up on Premium Bandai and sold out pretty much in, I think, like 24 hours, like all versions of it. That was wild. I did get to snag me one on pre-order, which is super exciting, because that's a big part of my childhood and something I really like. It's just a good time to be a Digimon fan. I feel like I'm always saying that, but man, I think they're giving us a lot of really good stuff to be happy about, and I think they continue to show that even though there are some roadblocks and disappointments along the way, they, as a company, continue to listen to the players, and I feel like they're doing maybe not their best. I don't want to claim their best because I don't know, but at least they're making steps to deliver to us things that we've said. I know that there's a bit of a delay, and I think the universal release schedule will also help fix that, because things that were problems in Japan, they didn't want to feel like they take away from us right away, or if they did, we'd get upset, or this and that. It would affect sales. The Apocalypse problem was kind of wild, where I think it tanked the sales of that set completely because we knew it was basically coming out banned. We had it for one event in North America, so I think that's going to be a big part of fixing it. I think it's going to help with playtesting, because now playtesting, I think it's going to help with the implementation of just the results. Like now, instead of just looking at Japan as a whole, who has smaller events, they have tons and tons of smaller events there. That's just culturally how they bust out so many card game tournaments, they don't have a lot of room, so they have a ton of tamer battles that are like 8 to 16 people, whereas North America tends to have bigger locals and bigger, regional level events and stuff like that. I think just with the implementation of more people testing the product as it comes out, it's going to be more data, more ability to change and adapt to things like that. Yeah, that's enough ranting. I'm really excited about the implications of all this stuff in the Digimon card game. I'm really excited about the new playmat that we have cooking up for you for GFG. So join the Discord for news on that, for updates on all of our new prizing. We did get new dice in. It's in the announcements, but these right here, these bad boys, it's black on green. It's like a nice digital green and like a black and gray swirl. I'm really happy with them. I think they look nice. We are working with an artist for a playmat. I will announce more on that on Twitter. I posted a little teaser, a little not of the art, just as a hint. So if you figure it out, that would be pretty cool. But that's going to be coming up over the next few weeks, month or so. I'm not in a rush, and I told the artist to take their time because I want it to come out really good. I want you guys to love it. But yeah, a lot to be excited for. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck list. I hope you guys enjoy my little rants. I hope that I am helping add to the community in a positive way. And I want to remind you guys to also be a positive light in someone's life, even if it's not Digimon related. Just it costs nothing to be supportive in most cases, so be supportive. And let me know how I could support you. You could support me by liking, commenting, and subscribing, or just hanging out in the Discord and being a good guy. Thanks. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll see you in the next one.